Alright guys, we have another question from the centroid chapter of Meriam textbook, and we need to determine the z coordinate of the mass center of the homogeneous paraboloid of revolutions shown. So we're dealing with the 3D center of mass, and as always we have to consider our element for the first step. Our element would be something like this, which the thickness is very small, and based on the symmetry, if we look at this from the top, what we're gonna see is basically a circle where the centroid would be exactly at the center. So we can figure out pretty easy that the center of mass would be somewhere on this z-axis. So the coordinates of x and y, pretty easy. We don't need to do anything. We just check for the symmetry of the shape, and that's pretty much it. So we go for the centroid or center of mass, or the z component of center of mass. Let's clear this. And as I was saying, we have to consider our element, which is the blue element that I'm showing in here. We can consider the thickness dm, which represents the mass. We can call this y, and the height that it has from the origin, this would be our z. So if that's that, the thickness of this part is going to be dz. And like, let's just show this. It might be a little bit confusing. So this whole thing is our dm. I wasn't referring to the thickness. And we have some information from the question where we are at the top of this. The radius is r and the height is also h. So we're going to start with the definition of the density, which is mass over the volume. So from here, mass would be rho times v, or our dm is equal to rho, obviously is a constant, dv. And what we need to figure out in here is that because we have a parabola in here, so we know that, let's say if we have a parabola of this is our y-axis, this is our x, this is going to be y is equal to x squared. But keep in mind that that's one specific condition. This parabola can be like that, can be like this, depending on the coefficient of the x squared. So if you want to write it in a general format, it's going to be k, which is our constant, times x squared, and that's something we need to figure out in this question. So basically we can write down this curve as, so now our y is going to be z in here and our x is y, so k y squared. All right, now we have some information about the parabola part of this, and we can kind of get an idea about this k or the constant, because when we are at zh, when our z is equal to h, our y would be r, like right at this point, or I should say like somewhere in here. So which means our z h is equal to k times r squared, and that's how we find our constant k, which is going to be h over r squared. Now, if we just plug this in into what we found in here, our z is equal to kh over r squared times y squared. And that's something we can get for now. Let's just keep it like that, and let's get back to our dm. So for finding the z square, first of all, the formula that we need to figure out for the center of mass would be zdm over basically, so let's figure out the denominator first. So basically our m is equal to integral of dm, and our dm would be rho times dv, and the volume of our dm, which is basically this element, this small cylinder that we have, it's going to be the area of that cylinder, which is pi y squared times height, which is dz. So now we have y squared and dz, but from the previous part here, our y squared is basically r squared over h times z. So you just bring this on the other side of the equation, which is going to give us this. Now it's pretty easy to find the dm. And the mass, we know that starts from 0 to h, which is the height. So m would be the integral of rho pi. Just going to plug in r squared over h times z. dz, and we know this part, the integral of this part, the rest is actually the constants that we have. So pi rho r squared h, and this part is going to be z squared divided by 2, going from 0 to h. So our m would be basically, this part is going to be h squared divided by 2. So one of the h will be cancelled out, so it's going to be, let's just write it down, rho pi r squared h times, so these two will be cancelled out, and we're going to get 1/2 of pi rho pi r squared and h. So now we have the denominator, we just have to figure out the numerator. So we are looking for z dm. Again, we are from 0 to h, so 0 to h z, and the dm would be pretty much same as the other part, so this one, and the last thing that we got was basically this. So rho pi r squared over h times z dz, and the only difference in here, now we have 2z, so it's going to be a little bit different. So let's just take out all the constant rho pi r squared h. We're going to have z squared dz, again from 0 to h. And this part is just going to be 0, z to the power of 3 over 3, or z cube over 3. So rho pi r squared h z cube over 3, 0 h. So if you differentiate that, you're going to get this. So this is going to be 1/3 of pi r squared over h times h cube over 3. Actually, I already took the 3 in here, so we don't need to do it again. Yeah, so we can cancel this out. It's going to be 2, so 1/3 of rho is missing, rho pi r squared h squared. So that's going to be our numerator. Now we have this part as well, so we're just going to plug it in here to find the final answer. I'm going to write it down in red. 1/3 of rho pi r squared h squared over, we have it here, 1/2 of rho pi r squared h. So all of this will be cancel out. We can cancel out one of the h as well, so basically it's going to be 2/3 of h, which is going to be the last component that we are looking for center of mass, 2/3 of h. So two things: first, check for the symmetry. Second, find the constant that you have based on the information. Here r and h was something that helped us to find this constant. The rest is just plugging to the main formulas. And yeah, hope everything was clear. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Just take care. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.